Right, Year 9, we're now at that point where we need to start assessing your work for the halfway evaluation. So when you get your work back today, you'll notice that there may be some highlighted sections on some of the areas that I've marked. And again, down here you will be reading some of my comments for feedback. In terms of this assessment structure, don't forget to make sure you've got your name at the top, your target grade, and then at the end of this project, I'll give you your final mark here and your predicted mark for the end of the year here. Over here are comments about homework. So for this task, you are going to need a purple pen, and you're going to need to look at, respond to, and improve your work. Let's have a look at the first page then. So in our first lesson, we were doing the design brief. So just check through your design brief. Make sure it's all nice and neat and accurate. Check for spellings. Also make sure that your cardboard is labelled up. And what I'd suggest on this piece of work is actually to draw some examples of the cardboard using the worksheets from the first lesson. Down here is the response to the video that we watched when we were looking at how cardboard is made. And again, just check that you've added that in detail. And again, as you can see on the side over here, if I circle your work, this one is a spelling, so recycle spelt wrong. If there's any spellings on there, I'd like you to write them 3 times, please, in purple pen. Lesson 2, we looked at isometric drawing, and we looked at the different examples of biconvex, concave, and convex lenses. Again, just check for spellings and make sure titles and dates are underlined for me. Do that in purple pen so you've responded to marking. In there somewhere as well should be your homework. Again, make sure it's in there. This was a high example of homework, specifically because it included all the different examples, so at least 10 examples of images researched there with detailed comments about each one. And you can see those as they're pictured on. It's a really good piece of homework, and again today you may want to improve or add to the quality of that. Do check your feedback at the bottom, and there's always an EBI comment on most pieces of work. Moving through the lesson on shading, where we did the challenge to reduce, transform, categorise, prioritise and extend, and you can see some of the outlines on there. Again, spellings have been highlighted. I may ask you to respond to some of my questions and just improve the overall quality, and once again underline titles and dates. Now, one of the reasons I chose this piece of work because it was a really good one to show you a finished outcome with rendering and thick and thin lines. So just generally, the quality of this is really high. Good use of rendering skills. You can see the gradient lines there where it gets lighter and darker, particularly around the top. The product has been well annotated, and the bill of materials at the bottom has also been filled in. But what I really like about this work as well is once they've finished rendering is they've added in, I just want to bring that a little bit closer, thick lines around the outline of the shape, which if you follow my finger now it's going to go this way, and that's done using a Sharpie. Then they've also put thin lines in all the internal lines, including the hidden lines over here and these segments, and that's really going to bring the piece of work out. So again, if you've not finished that, do respond to feedback and then improve that for me today for your wrap work. And then finally, as an extension, don't forget to make sure that you finish this, get it rendered in. You can see the bill of materials is down here. You can use the worksheets to help you, and again render and preferably use a thick and thin line like you saw on that example. And that concludes your wrap. Now at the end of our wrap lesson today, what I'm going to ask you to do is respond finally in here and tell me what you have done to respond to my feedback. So in today's lesson I have responded to your feedback by, and then filling that in purple pen and explaining what you've improved the quality with. Don't forget as well to check your modelling skills and make sure they've all been finished, especially with the final Google Cardboard piece that you've been making in class. And that's it.